Right, this is a little review of something that's just gone on Ghost. Just some absolute bullshit, but we'll get through it. We'll run a little video of what was actually said, and you can judge for yourself. You'll have to excuse the idiot that's running the channel who's screaming like a fucking emotional banshee while having his mic turned up 10 notches too high already.
Why would you need to compare riots? Why would you need to compare riots? Why do you need to compare riots, Babs? That's silly. Why would you need to compare riots?
No, but you're trying to make out that last summer was so bad and this, that, and the other.
It was bad.
About what happened in 2011.
So you're okay with that? But why go back to 2011 when we've got the latest riots to talk about in 2024? This is what aboutism you're going. You want to divert it to something.
Now you got it right. Okay, good.
What aboutism?
Well done, Ghost. Ghost has got it right.
All right, thank you, Babs. But the thing is, the race riots that happened, like there was a lot of misinformation.
That's what I don't get. How can you call them race riots?
They were race riots. They were race riots.
Can you explain to me what bit, how? Who said what made them race riots?
My God. All right. So what made them a race riots was what made them a race riots were the victims were predominantly white, right? The perpetrator happened to be a Welsh individual who was black.
Well, 2 out of 3 was white. So, no, not predominantly.
Right?
Yeah.
Then, what we seen on the streets, first of all, there was misinformation spread on the internet by the likes of yourself and Gumi.
Is misinformation going around?
Where did the misinformation come from originally? Was it not a Pakistani from Pakistan? One of yours, Ghost.
All right. Let me explain, man. Let me explain. So then people started saying that it was an immigrant that did this, right? When it had nothing to do with him.
Nothing to do with immigrants. Is he not a son of an immigrant from Rwanda? I think he is.
Immigration whatsoever. So immigration was brought into it, which is racist in itself, right?
No, it's not.
Second,
Immigration's racist, alright. I'm not being funny, but we still are not aware of the full facts around his family, mainly his dad.
It is. Like, I'll get onto it. It is. And secondly, when the riots happened, people said, Muslims came to attack the vigil when there was no Muslim inside. That was a lie, right? Then you said it was a Muslim that did it. After that, a mosque was attacked. Then random people that happened to be black, Asian, whatever, were attacked. Stopped in cars, this, that, the other. So,
what about the white people that were stopped?
I think you've mixed your timeline up quite a lot there, Ghost, but carry on.
In cars. What about the white person that was beaten up in a fucking pub? What about the white bloke that was
get onto that.
And pushed down a hole?
What you're doing is you're cutting him off from making his point.
One myself.
You're cutting him off from making his point.
Why are you interrupting? I'll give you room to make your point. Why are you interrupting? So, now, the incident that she refers to in Birmingham, the Pope has already apologized to the Muslim community over that idiot going out there and being racist towards the people that was just there to defend. Then people...
Until you realise that both sides...
He was being racist, but he got his ass kicked because he was being racist. And the Pope have already apologized and banned the guy from there.
Yeah,
so,
right,
when the elders...
Where's the proof?
I'm not being funny, but are we expected to believe that Muslims was just in the pub? Yeah, isn't that haram? What was they doing in or outside of a pub to begin with weapons? That'd be a good starting point, wouldn't it?
But that goes. You asked me.
So, Aduki, we will show you the proof. Because the pub owner met with the elders from the community and he said that the person was being racist. That's
So, the landlord or the landlady, whichever case it may be, has met with the elders. Who the fuck are these elders? Some old sweaty fucking musrats? Who gives a fuck about shit like that? All it comes down to in a shithole like Birmingham is if the pub didn't fucking play ball, the pub would get burnt down, because we know how these cunts work.
why they attacked him. So,
Right. So what about all the white people that were stopped in their cars and told that they can't?
which white people were stopped in the cars where?
No way, like you don't know, Ghost. You've already covered it. It's already been spoke about. It's already been fucking chatted about. All on your fucking live stream, Ghost. So don't play fucking dumb cunt. Well, hard not to in it, inbred, isn't it?
Can you show me evidence?
Wasn't it?
Where?
Birmingham.
You have to show the
It happened in Birmingham. We're all fully aware of it.
evidence
One of
as to
them,
what
I
you're
can't
claiming.
remember, but it did.
I'm not sure who that is who keeps talking. I think it's the one that shags cats and dresses up in his mum's fucking dresses.
It happened. And
Alright.
what about
So-
the policeman who had to tell all the Muslims to put their weapons back in the mosque?
No, this is funny. This is what I recorded this little piece for. Just listen to Ghost's explanation.
Because Babs, that's no. You're not gonna twist it. Now, please, now mosque.
Who's attacking the mosque?
Alright. So the mosque is a private. No.
We're wrong.
Oh,
Listen
wait.
to me. I'm not
Those Muslims.
You were
No.
You're saying that
No.
we're the only ones that were wrong on our side.
The Muslims that
I'm not
have
having it.
weapons. The Muslims that.
Having it.
Yep.
God knows why this fucking ghost character, avatar, whatever, is shouting on top of having his mic turned up fucking 10 levels too high. It's more or less inaudible. Fucking dumb cunt.
A mosque. Alright, a mosque is a private property. So you can have weapons.
So, private property, as in, like, anybody's house, yeah? Or a farm, let's say, yeah?
A private property, right? It's a private property. That's why the police said, listen, them guys, if they come to attack the mosque, you lot don't need to worry about it. The police is here. We'll deal with it. You lot don't need to do this, yeah? We are on hand. Put the weapons back, right? You don't need to do it. Like that.
Both sides were wrong.
No. Both sides wasn't wrong. There was only one side that was wrong, and that was the racist.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. I'm not engaging with you until you.
Yeah, you're not engaging.
So, according to Ghost, the fucking people's champ, a mosque being a private building means you can have as many weapons in there as possible. As many as you want, it's not an issue. At one point in time, many years ago, that would have been possibly true, or whatever. At this moment in time, you're not even allowed to have weapons in your own house. It doesn't matter whether you own it or not. Now, if it was, let's say, a farm, you would legally be allowed to have shotguns and stuff like that, or whatever, for killing vermin, etc. It's a misunderstanding that people are not allowed to have guns in this country. You are allowed to have guns in this country. You just got to jump through some legal loopholes to hold a gun license. Without a gun license, you're not allowed to legally obtain a firearm, but you can get them, and you don't need to own a farm either. Now we can rewind time to where to try and match Ghost's bullshit fucking version of events and whatever. We'll play what was said in a minute. But let's say intruders, invaders broke into a farm or whatever, and the farmer shot the intruders, invaders. You would be done. You would be prosecuted. You would go to prison, regardless. The only way that you would possibly not do or get off with a very light sentence is if you was in fear of your life because they had a firearm or whatever. Now, a mosque is just the same as any public accessible building. You're definitely not allowed to just hoard weapons in there. It's supposed to be a holy place, is it not? Or is it Dar al-Harb, House of War? I think we all know which it is. Otherwise it wouldn't be filled with weapons, would it? Now, the moment you leave that building, even if it's a private building and you think all these rules allow you to have these weapons or whatever, the moment you leave them premises, the moment you hit the street, you've already broke the law. So if you've got 50 people stood there with weapons, you arrest and you lock up all them 50 people with weapons. What you don't do is be a little bitch and say, oh, you know, we're not here for this today or whatever. Go and put the weapons which shouldn't even be on the fucking street or in the mosque. Yeah, just go and put them back in the mosque. Don't worry about it, lads. We're here for the fucking wicked EDL which disbanded 10 years ago. And where did the misinformation come from? Hope not hate. The people that you've been in contact with, the agents of Ghost. People like Mandy Mosley that is fucking named in the book, for fuck's sake. And you've admitted how long ago that you've been in contact with her and all this, in private contact. So that's where we're at. Ghost clearly hasn't got a clue about anything. All this is cult mentality bullshit. He cannot accept the fact that people are questioning, critiquing Islam, which he says he cares for Islam more than his family, his children, his mum, his dad, whatever. He cares for that ideology, that fucking death cult ideology, which is very friendly to fucking nonsense, considering the one they all look up to, the man of fucking the hour, the fucking code of conduct to follow, the man to emulate, had a fucking 6-year-old wife, a 9-year, well, he was with her at 6 and married her at 9, consummated it at 9. To anybody normal that's not in a cult, people would call that rape of a 56-year-old man having sex with a 9-year-old child. Everyone apart from fucking Ghost and Rashmore would say that was rape. But people in a cult, no, it's perfect. Right, I'm going to see if there's any more of this that I want to take off, and then I'm going to go through what was actually said. Bear in mind, Ghost has literally said with his own mouth, without Islam, he would be nothing.
Both sides, because racism will come from one side.
Ghost is that deluded that he thinks Islam is a race or Muslims are a race, even though you can be any colour of the rainbow that fucking join it or leave it. Yeah, he thinks it's a race. That's what I mean. This inbred shit it's got a lot to fucking speak for.
She'll be quiet for a
The
bit.
Muslims are the victims.
Thanks me after.
She must be upset that a racist got banged in his face. Did you know
He got his
that?
ass kicked, yeah, but
Yeah, it is Cat Shagger. This is the guy that literally has admitted and then fucking whatever online that because another man asked him to, he went and put his mum's dress on and reportedly shags cats. This is the people that are like okay with this fucked up, weird, creepy ideology.
The only guy is asking because he would be racist.
She's upset
Like,
because she's upset
yes,
because Muslims are defending
have you noticed? Wisdom, did you see how she ran? She was like, I'm not engaging. She found an exit strategy, yeah? She found an exit strategy and she went,
No, I just think even Babs has realised that you're actually not worth talking to in any way, shape or form. All people around Ghost and all this shit serve as, realistically, is an example. And the fact that they have to try and fucking bully and scare off people like Lubna from their own community or whatever speaks volumes. Now, according to Ghost, with the way he's just explained this bullshit law or whatever, which is just made up in his head, people are allowed to attack whoever they deem as a threat or whatever. Comments was put in on the live and whatever, and he reacted to certain things and whatever. What Bab said, where people was attacked with hammers, etc. It happened, and the people that was attacked had nothing to do with either side. They were just innocent bystanders, stood there minding their own business, and people have come over and smashed the shit out of their heads with hammers. And the police seen it, allowed it to happen, and did nothing. Now, what Ghost is trying to stretch into fitting his own narrative, his own agenda, or whatever, is just the simple self-defence. Most people would understand it from a bouncer's point of view or whatever. If they feel like someone's trying to burst the barrier, get through the door or whatever, they are allowed to strike them. And that will be the same with anybody, me, you, or anybody. If you feel like someone's going to attack you, you are allowed to preemptive strike or whatever, but it comes down to reasonable force. That doesn't include being pissy that shit information was passed about by Hope Not Hate, telling people that EDL are chucking acid over Muslims and people with brown skin, and because of that they walk in the streets out of the mosque, storing the weapons in the mosque and walking the streets with the weapons, and then the police do nothing about it. And Ghost has somehow come up with this mad theory that you're somehow allowed to do that. Is that reasonable force, Ghost? You know fuck all about fuck all. You are literally an idiot. You make your whole fucking community of 1.6, 1.8 fucking billion fucking Muslims or whatever. You make them all look cunts. You make them all look stupid. They let them leave and go back to the mosque where they just came from. So if you think that's defence, self-defence, Ghost, then what you're doing is opening that door nice and wide for people thinking, well, does that count with the invaders that are coming here daily, that are illegal, that are criminals from the offset? And up to now, we've been given hundreds of examples of these people, these invaders, these criminals coming here, raping children, killing fucking children, driving over children, blowing children up. Would we be able to use that self-defence to just take hammer and smash their fucking heads wide open? Because at the end of the day, we've got a fair idea that they're going to attack our children. Is that okay to run with that, Ghost? Because that's what you're opening the door to. So, you've heard what Ghost said. You've heard what I've said. all we can do really is look at the evidence, can't we?
have been speaking to the police as well because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but
They're smashing up the people's cars. People are running. Fucking hell. Leave him! They might as well fucking shoot the man. You know what? I disagree with that. Them people are not racist. I don't know. A car, I assume, with people in it, and they assume that they were EDL. Apparently, I'm not sure, and that's why they all ran. He needs an ambulance, so he does. Samurai sword, you see? That sword.
Guys, the Asians are absolutely coming for us. Up here. No, come on, just move. We got to run off up here, guys. Just run, run. You've got to, Chris. The Asians are coming and they're in hundreds, guys. This massive gang, massive mob of Asians. They've come to, well, beat us up really. So guys, the Asians are here. This is why me and my wife ran. Just here. This is getting dangerous now, guys. Extremely dangerous. Yeah. Have you seen the looking glass anywhere? He's about somewhere. Yeah, there's absolute madness. I'm keeping my eyes out because in case someone comes from behind. This is frightening scenes, this is. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. Well, I'll be honest with you, I hope to never see it again. Look at that scene up there.
realise it's getting a bit panicky on this side now. The Asians over that side really are immobilising. They're in the hundreds. And you probably look around here, maybe 150 people. There's well over 2,000 people there in the Asians. They're after blood. They're literally after blood. Apparently somebody else has been stabbed. An English guy's been stabbed, but I didn't see that. I didn't get that on camera.
I'm not talking about Muslims. I'm talking about Islam.
Good evening. Important symbols of American power have been hit today by a series of devastating terrorist attacks.
I've read, I've studied, I've learned it. I know it inside out. I know the Quran better than most Muslims know the Quran.
We're also getting reports this morning of an explosion, a bomb explosion in Russell Square.
I have a huge problem with fascism. It quotes in the Quran time after time again that we're cattle. We're cattle. We're animals as non-Muslims.
This is James Wright Foley, an American citizen of your country.
Individually, Muslims, if I quote Winston Churchill said Muslims will show amazing individual traits, but their ability to go forward as a society will be held back. Islam will drag them back.
This is BBC World News Today with me, Tim Wilcox. The headlines. We're pretty sure we got him. Pentagon says the death of Mohammed Emwazi would be a significant blow to IS.
Most Muslims don't even know the Quran. That's the reality of it in the UK. So the agenda of Islam is what I have a problem with.
With some breaking news, reports are coming in of an attack, or quite possibly several attacks, in Paris. Reports are talking of a burst of gunfire.
Haram and halal. Halal are the good deeds in Islam, haram are the outlawed deeds. So no matter how halal their life has been, if they want to get to heaven, they just have to kill non-Muslims in a holy jihad.
It's been reported that sounds similar to gunfire have been heard close to the Palace of Westminster. A man with a knife had been seen within the confines of the palace, according to eyewitnesses.
It's not just terrorism. I'm not just on about terrorism. I'm on about the mindset, the viewpoint, freedom of religion. Muslims who want to leave Islam in the UK are persecuted.
Fucking racist scumbags! All of you, police force, everyone!
I'm criticising their hierarchy. I'm criticising the political policing that's going on. I'm criticising the leader of Scotland Yard who came out yesterday straight after the attack and said, well, we want to assure the Muslim community we're with you, we're with you, we're with you.
We must recognise now that our Muslim communities will feel anxious at this time, given the past behaviour of extreme right-wing groups, and we will continue to work with all community leaders over coming days.
Stop painting the victims of this somehow the Muslim community, because no one's driving cars over them, no one's cutting their heads off. Right, that's happening to us.
60s man attack for me. Pakistan, yo, white, just...
They attacked you because you were white?
Yes.
These are the men police describe as very, very dangerous. They're responsible for grooming and sexually abusing 3 13-year-old girls in Rotherham.
But when you get street gang grooming in large numbers, where all the perpetrators know each other, they're related, they're cousins, they're work colleagues, 90% of the convictions of that are Muslim. 90% out of a population of 4%. And 20% of them are called Muhammad. There is a correlation between sexual exploitation and rape and Islam. There is a correlation between terrorism and Islam. I wish there wasn't. There is.
You know others threaten Muslims with violence.
Well, no, I haven't threatened Muslims with violence. You're lying.
People will make up their mind on what they...
I've watched the whole politically, everything shift for people coming along to realise, and actually, this guy he understands it, and he was talking sense. And the reason why I understand it, I was talking sense, is because I'm born in Luton Town. I've been brought up around it. All these people going to fight for ISIS, all the radical terrorists in jail. I grew up with them all.
If you think we're not going to be cowed by some pathetic Poundland terrorist in an estate car with a knife.
Once you're affected by Islam, you then wake up knowing. So a lot of the people, you have to understand, these people who criticise me, they live in leafy suburbs. They don't understand what I'm talking about. They don't get it. They think all cultures are equal. Everyone's equal. Everyone's the same. No, they're not. Got news for you. They've got news for you. Islam's very, very different. Very different. The hostility, the hate, the violence. It's a whole new ballgame that we've ever dealt with. And it's here. There's so much we can be doing as a society to try and address this issue, but we're not doing any of it. Because to do it, we have to admit the problem.
Will the Prime Minister agree with me that what happened was not Islamic, just as the murder of Ari Neve was not Christian,
and that in fact both are perversions of religion.
I absolutely agree, and it is wrong to describe this as Islamic terrorism.
A lot more people here, a lot more people demanding justice. As you can see, Chelsea, what she's shown is so much courage, so much bravery, that other girls are stepping forward. She's given other girls the opportunity to step forward and tell their story of what's happened to them. And I guarantee you there's so many girls that's happened to in the sea, and there's not even that many Muslims in the sea. This is a nationwide problem across our country, where the police are not cracking down, the police are not dealing with it the way they should, they're not protecting women, they're not protecting our women, and as you can see, it's a big problem. Their own to try and find justice. There's no political figures supporting them, there's no politicians, there's no groups, there's no organisation, just families left to come out together to demand justice. We're in Sunderland covering a community campaign for justice for a young English girl called Chelsea, who was gang raped by Syrian refugees, and there's been no further actions. So there's eyewitnesses, there's forensics, and they've been fighting for justice now for 12 months.